All right, Whole Foods and my meal plan for the week and how this grocery shopping I just did is going to make the meal plan happen. I have to say I appreciate Whole Foods as a grocery store, especially if you're looking for gluten-free choices, non-dairy items, and want to consistently have a resource for organic everything. Whole Foods is more expensive, and when they're off their game, they're off their game, and when they're on, they're on. That's the hard part for me. So today is a different day than I usually go, and lots of things were out of stock, and that's frustrating. But I have found if you get in a rhythm and you find the day that everything's stocked, it's really a good feeling because you're gonna get everything organic you could dream of. So one quick other caveat before we go is the cost of shopping at Whole Foods. I always like to bring this up. It's more. So here's what I put in place, 2 things to shop there. I shop there because it's so close to my kiddos' school, fits so well into our schedule to just hit that after I drop them off because we don't have bus service. So here's 2 things I leverage to make it more comparable to shopping at my local Kroger with coupons. And I do offset a lot of the Whole Foods cost by shopping for meats in other places, for example, at Costco. I have a Amazon Prime membership. You scan that at the checkout and you get extra discounts. For example, today I got an extra bit off on some of my protein powder, the vegan protein powder I found that I like. I finally found one I like, I'll show it to you. So it went from being $44 down to being $28. So you hit the jackpot on some specialty items every once in a while. So I have an Amazon Prime membership, scan it at checkout. You'll get to then take advantage of some of the markdowns that you get as an Amazon Prime member. It's not on every food, it just rotates every week what the markdowns are on. I also have a credit card, so if you're a credit card person, that is an Amazon Prime Rewards credit card, and when I use that at checkout to pay, we get 5% cash back on everything we spend at Whole Foods. So today I spent $219 for the meal plan, and I also got that $28 protein powder, and as we go through, we'll see if there's anything else that was really beyond the meal plan to help justify that cost. So $28 out of the $219, so just shy of $200 for a week of meals, every meal including animal protein and organic. Everything that I could choose to have organic, we get organic. So that's kind of where that cost is coming from. So again, keep in mind, using your Amazon Prime membership discount at checkout, they'll tell you how to do it if you can't figure it out. And if you're a credit card person, that Amazon Prime Rewards credit card will give you 5% cash back on everything you spend at Whole Foods for the card that we have. And that's something you more have to ask your credit card about. The cashiers at Whole Foods can't help you much with figuring that out or applying for the card. So let's get to it. I'm just gonna pull things out of the bag and I'll talk about what meal it's going with. So this is one of the reasons I shop Whole Foods, especially if I know these are gonna be on sale, which I haven't figured out yet, maybe through the Whole Foods app, how to predict their sales. But these chicken sausages, there's about 6 different flavors. They have 15 grams of protein about in each one. Do have a dose of sodium, yes, but they're very clean and relatively low fat for sausage and really good flavor. My husband even said, man, I wouldn't have known this was a chicken brat when we had them the other night. So these are gonna be the meat I'm gonna use because it's all I could find today in our dinner. That's gonna be a turkey cabbage casserole. So it's gonna, it was supposed to be ground turkey sausage, ground turkey. It was all off the shelves at Whole Foods. And that's a bummer because that lean ground turkey made from turkey breast that's organic is one of the reasons I shop Whole Foods. It used to be one of my go-tos at Costco, but it's gone from Costco. This is a super lean one that's like 97% lean. Because it's turkey breast, you're gonna see me drinking my protein latte. I gotta break my fast, I'm really hungry. So I said, okay, what are we gonna do instead? We're gonna do these brats instead for the meat in this cabbage rice super simple casserole. So it would normally be some kind of ground meat. You could use ground beef, ground turkey sausage, ground chicken sausage, and then there's gonna be some cabbage and rice in there and a can of crushed tomatoes, which I did get. Where's our dry stuff? I did go for this because my family loves the flavor of this brand and their fire roasted gives it a little bit more flavor. This is organic, a little bit less sodium. These are at Whole Foods. Unfortunately, my local Kroger, the location I live by, doesn't carry this brand. Makes no sense. So, but this is gonna go in there. So super fast turkey, cabbage, rice type of casserole. And these will make it even faster. All I'll do is chop, 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 throw it all in a skillet on the stovetop, the biggest skillet I have, and let it cook down. And it's really delicious. It gives you your carbs, proteins, and fats. Super simple, fast meal. And those are the components I got at the store this week. I did get a cabbage from Whole Foods last week that was so big. We're still working on it this week, so that will be the next component of that meal. Let's see what else we've got in here that needs to get refrigerated. Okay. Organic chicken. There is usually a choice at Whole Foods of all different kinds of organic chicken, thighs, chicken breasts, and wings with bones in and out, and even whole chickens. So that might be a draw for you. The prices are a little lower at Costco, but they don't have the selection of organic, and my local Kroger doesn't have anywhere near the selection of organic chicken. And we eat so much of it, I just like to put some of our budget towards that because I know I'm avoiding some of the chemicals and hormones that are given to chickens. So these are organic chicken thighs with the skin on and the bone in, which they don't have at my local Kroger. I just can't get them there. And I wanted that to make a meal we're gonna have this week that is so good. It is from wellplated.com, and you guys all have this if you get my meal plans. If you don't, let me know, I'll get you on the list. It's at amandabrinkmanbrockman.com. My meal plans are there every week. And this goes with some Brussels sprouts and a green apple. So let's see if I can find them. The Brussels sprouts, I go ahead and save a little bit of money and buy them like this. Whole Foods does sell pre-washed and chopped organic Brussels sprouts. It's a slightly bigger quantity than this. It's about $6.99. So if you're going for convenience, you're single, you're cooking for one person, there is a very good selection of even organic, already chopped veggies ready to make your life so much easier at Whole Foods. I could have gone for that. Instead, I just get these and chop them myself. So I'm gonna chop the Brussels sprouts, chop a green apple, put them on a sheet pan with these bone-in skin-on chicken thighs, simply because this gives us more flavor. And my kids love the crunchy skin. I peel it off, I don't like the skin. And then a great topping that's so easy to make that is in that recipe from wellplated.com, the maple chicken Brussels sprouts sheet pan. And it's a little maple syrup, and a little honey, and a little mustard. It is really, really good. And again, super fast and simple. We do nothing to these. They're a little salt, pepper on the sheet pan done. Slice this in some thin slices, and I'll have to clean these up. Again, to save time, Whole Foods does have a lot of those time-saving choices, already prepped Brussels sprouts. You just pay a little extra, but it's kind of just like you're paying a personal chef to chop for you. In the long run, it's probably less expensive than a meal delivery kit where the food may have been more chopped. Okay, so that's another night. What else do we have down here? Okay, we've got some frozen corn. This is gonna be used in 2 different ways. I'll use half a bag for each recipe, and some bacon for a kale BLT salad I'm gonna make, which takes time, but I love it so much. I don't know how I could love kale so much, but I do. I save a little time, I have to admit, because I've compared the price, and they're fresh kale still with the stems on versus this already chopped, and they're both organic. This is worth it to me to just save a little time on the washing and chopping of the kale. So I'll get this in a big bowl, cook up some bacon, heat up some corn, some sun-dried tomatoes will go in. I already have those in the fridge, so I didn't buy them in this haul. And a little feta, and a little quick, easy lime dressing. And I did get organic limes at Whole Foods today. This is another, find them. Well, when I find them, I'll show them to you. Organic lemons and limes are almost always at Whole Foods, and we go through them like crazy. So that is something we stock up on almost every week. So this amazing kale BLT salad, I love it so much. It's one I add a little honey to though. It's a wellplated.com recipe. It is on the meal plans this week. It's gonna go with a crock pot barbecue shredded chicken. It takes a little chopping, but I love it so much, and it lasts for a few days. Kale holds up really well in the fridge. So like I said, this is gonna go with some crock pot barbecue chicken. So what I found to be the most affordable and the best portion for our family is this like bulk pack of chicken. There's chicken thighs and chicken breasts at Whole Foods. This is organic. Oh, this wound up being $6.99 a pound. So I think Costco is a little bit less expensive for their organic chicken breasts. Pretty comparable quality in my opinion. to what I get at Costco when I stock up on their chicken that's sold like this, the same concept. So I will use almost all of this in the crock pot with some barbecue sauce, and it'll be like instant shredded barbecue chicken. That will last us a few days and go with that kale BLT. And we need some carbs, more carbs with that meal because it's a carb day. So we're gonna have sweet potatoes with that, which I've already stocked up on. They do always, I've never had it not be there, have organic sweet potatoes in a couple different varieties at Whole Foods. So if you're a sweet potato person and you've got a favorite variety, Whole Foods might be worth your time. All right, what else do we have? That's all the perishable meat stuff that needs, oh, this was off the meal plan, but I do want to show this to you just because it's so good. This is around $3 in the freezer section, organic 3-pepper blend. Far less expensive than buying the peppers that you can make with this. And this is one of those that I keep in the freezer, along with extras of these sausages. And you can make instant meals with or without carbs that everyone likes with these two guys around. You've seen me do it a couple of times. So put it with some pasta and some red sauce. Put it on a hoagie bun. Put it with zoodles, put it over spinach and white beans. Instant meal, easy, easy, easy to keep in the freezer. Very fair price for all this many organic peppers. There's also organic mixed mushrooms. I didn't get this time, but I use, because I have some, I keep those as in the freezer as well. Add the mushrooms in, just more nutrition, more filling, chop them small, no one tastes it. So let me pop this in the corn in the freezer. Those, keep loving on those. There will be some tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes and fresh tomatoes in that kale BLT salad. So I wanted to show you these. This is sold by the pound, and I just love these right now. This just tastes a little bit more farm fresh. These have been at Whole Foods for the past 3 weeks, so those are going to be odd salads throughout the week, just with my lunches, just as a snack, but also in that kale BLT salad. What else do we have happening? We have a burger night tonight, and I already had everything I needed for that. Like I said, it's just cabbage and ground beef. Ground beef selection at Whole Foods. Often there's organic 80%, 80-20 meat, 90-10, and even 93-7, and there's buffalo that's not organic. And then there's non-organic choices. Today, everything was out. I don't know if there's like a supply chain issue, the hurricane, what's going on. But we also bought a cow, so I have a freezer full of ground beef. So tonight we're gonna have a burger night because it's what my kids chose for the night before the real day back to school. And we're gonna have the Big Mac in a bowl. My son loves that. That's where I chop up cabbage, quickly cook up some ground beef, throw an onion in there. It's done, and I make a really quick Big Mac sauce that is just mayonnaise and paprika and a little pickle, and they love it. So that's happening tonight with a side of green beans and white potatoes. And I do want you to see the green beans and white potatoes. Almost every time I've been to Whole Foods, they have organic, already trimmed green beans. Costco usually also carries this. It's in a big bag that we have a hard time going through. So I love these. I just hate trimming green beans. This is worth the time saved to me. So that will be part of dinner tonight. We love green beans with hamburgers. I cook them al dente, saute them just like a little salt and pepper on the stovetop, and they're nice and crunchy and delicious. And then I appreciate Whole Foods almost always has a selection of tiny potatoes. Usually 2 other varieties are there that are even smaller than these. They weren't there today. And I love this because then I just wash them. I keep the skin on to keep extra fiber in there because potatoes can spike your blood sugar with being a little bit more of a starchy carbohydrate. So keep the skin on to help them to digest better and be better for your blood sugar. And the smaller the tater, I don't even have to cut this in half, and it's gonna roast up in a heartbeat on a sheet pan with no effort for me. So that's why I love these, and we lean into these. These are in our meal plan almost every week, some type of tiny potato organic from Whole Foods. They usually have a pretty good selection. So that's burger night. We talked about crock pot barbecue chicken night with the kale BLT salad. We talked about the turkey rice cabbage casserole. That one we're also gonna have green beans again. And we talked about the chicken that's got this delicious honey mustard maple dressing over it, the chicken thighs with the apples and Brussels sprouts. That one is so good. Tastes so fancy, but it hardly takes any work. And last but not least is going to be fish tacos. And here's why I love this spicy fish taco in a bowl recipe. I swapped it in this week. It wasn't on the meal plan, but I've shared it many times before. It's from Pinch of Yum. It's so easy to put together, so satisfying, so much food. I use cod, a can of black beans or two, a bag of frozen corn, and some that's about it. It's so easy and so delicious. So that is on the menu. I can get cod at Whole Foods. They do have nice quality frozen fish at Whole Foods. I will give them that for sure. And relatively the same price as any other grocery. I love finding frozen fish at Costco, but it's another one of those things where to keep enough in the freezer, I only go to Costco every few months, that type of thing. So I have bought really great salmon, wild caught Alaskan salmon, and cod. And those are the two big ones that I've leaned into from Whole Foods to keep us going. That fish taco in a bowl will be over romaine. So organic romaine is in stock at Whole Foods. It's been missing at some of my other groceries. Organic cilantro will be served with that and a lot of other things this week. And let me see. This organic rosemary is going to go with that sheet pan of Brussels sprouts and the chicken thighs. So some fresh sprigs of rosemary go over it, and it's so good. Smells so good. There is a huge selection of organic fresh herbs like this at Whole Foods if that's your jam and you really appreciate that in your cooking. It's not grown in your garden. They've got you covered. It's consistently in stock. Oh, here's another little time saver that will just be here and there in all of these recipes. If you need this, if you get frustrated with the wanting garlic but having to peel it, this is almost always at Whole Foods. Organic peeled garlic. It is over there by the already chopped Brussels sprouts, the already chopped sweet potatoes that are, I believe they usually skin them. Wish they didn't. An already chopped coleslaw mix and the prepped food in the produce section. So these are a good deal in my opinion. But I definitely lean into these every once in a while just to give me a little bit easier, faster time. What else is in here? That is from a meal plan. I think, here. I usually get this exact brand of rice at Costco and noticed it was at Whole Foods today for a very fair price. So I stocked up on this. This is organic brown rice. And this will last forever for us. It's from brown rice from the United States. So it made me realize Whole Foods, I keep wanting to talk about Costco, has a good selection of grains, quinoa and the rices, whole big aisle of nice choices. Again, tons of choices for gluten-free options. It's one of their specialties. And I did not buy any treats, but I kind of did. Let me show you. Treats for me, in my mind. Whole Foods has an entire aisle of healthier treats. If you want a treat that has been sweetened with stevia or monk fruit instead of cane sugar, for example, Whole Foods has an enormous selection. They have an enormous selection of gluten-free pre-made treats, cookies, snacks, crackers. Whole Foods is your place. I appreciate that this was on sale today at Whole Foods. This is that grain-free granola that I use on my days when I eat lower carbs, Monday, Tuesday, so I can carb cycle. I'll be having some of this in a bit, on sale today. And let's see, okay. We love this jelly, my kiddos and I love peanut butter and jelly. This organic jelly is often on sale at Whole Foods, less expensive than my local Kroger. So I stock up, nice big jar, it lasts us forever. A little bit goes a long way because it's so delicious. What else? Let's see. Here's a convenience food that again, I'll just use throughout the week for my leftovers for lunches, pico de gallo. I do not make this myself because it's just too much chopping. It's tomatoes, onions, and cilantro and jalapeno. So they have a mango salsa and they have pico de gallo always over in a case in the produce section. Another one where you're paying for them to chop it, but a little bit goes a really long way, and it's super macro friendly. No added sugars, all good. Let's see. Some convenience foods we picked up. These sweet mini peppers are easy for my kids for snacks and for myself. And these already cut up colorful baby carrots. And they had peas, sugar snap peas, already all set to go. Broccoli and cauliflower already cut and washed and bagged and ready to go for you. Celery sticks already washed and cut and ready to go for you. So if you are like one of my Fast Away friends I just talked to recently who leaves for work at 6:15, doesn't get home till 8 at night, and needs to eat all your food on the go, and you want to have veggies in your snacks and just save time, Whole Foods has a huge selection of all of that already washed and packed and ready for you to take advantage of. So these are two. I usually don't do baby carrots until it's the school year because my kids can so easily engage with those. I do buy these almost every grocery trip. I love them. They're crunchy. They work on low carb days, regular macro days. They're a fantastic treat to me. You can make them into nachos. You can do so many things with those. If you're into berries, like I am, we go through a lot of berries around here because they are so full of fiber. They fix your sweet tooth. They are magical. Whole Foods almost always has this bulk raspberries like you can buy at Costco. Almost always organic berries are in stock and a relatively okay price, in my opinion, compared to what I've seen at other groceries. So we've got our raspberries, our blueberries, our strawberries, and even some blackberries came home today. Here are those limes, those organic limes we're gonna use. We're always stocking up on bananas around here. Can't get enough of them for our carbs and for freezing for smoothies. Their peaches have been amazing the past few weeks, organic peaches for my kids' lunches. This red bell pepper, I was thinking I needed for a recipe. I'm gonna put a little bit into the spicy fish taco bowl, and then we'll munch on the other half or freeze it because it's so easy to just use that from frozen and not let it go to waste. Let's see. Ooh, okay. My kids take cheese for snack at school, so this is the one we go with, organic. It's important to me to have organic dairy because I understand the dairy farming and turkey farming and pig farming from when I lived in Iowa. And there are a lot of chemicals involved in the process, keeping the farm clean, taking care of the animals, and there are a lot of hormones fed to the animals producing dairy to keep them producing milk. So it's important to me to do organic, and there's always a selection of organic cheese in different formats, shredded, sliced blocks at Whole Foods. So we do stock up on that each week. And my kids use it for lunches and snacks. Here's those blackberries I mentioned. These will be delicious today. I'll put a little of these blackberries with my unsweetened coconut cream. I already have some ready in the fridge. And some of that grain-free granola and some almonds, and I will be in heaven. This is so good for a low-carb day. So if you've heard me talk about my coconut cream, this is the one I buy. I stock up at Whole Foods, especially if it's on sale. It is not often on sale. And a little bit goes such a long way that it's an okay price. They also sell a different brand in a smaller can if you're just not going through it but you want to try some coconut cream. They have coconut milk as well, and light coconut milk and organic choices. Here is, last but not least, I'll show you one more thing after this, just in case it's your thing. I finally found this protein powder by trying a sample pack at Whole Foods. They have an aisle of protein powders and collagen peptide powders, greens powders. So if that's in a world you're looking to move into, especially if you're looking for organic or vegan, Whole Foods might be worth a walkthrough for you. They have sales. So like I said, this was 50% off. It's usually $44. It was $28 today. I was so tempted to buy two, but then I'm always thinking, what if I find one I like better? I don't, you know. Anyway, I got one of these. This is vegan, and it does have a small amount of added sugar in the form of coconut palm sugar. I use half a scoop at a time, and then it's not too grainy. It doesn't have a weird flavor. It doesn't dry my mouth out. It doesn't hurt my tummy like almost every other protein powder does. So I found that by using the little sample packs that Whole Foods sells for many of the different brands they're selling. So again, if you're on the protein powder hunt, might be worth, if you have a Whole Foods around, a trip through just to see what's on sale. There's always some brand on sale, usually multiple brands. That is where, when it is on sale, I wait for a sale. I buy my collagen peptides from Primal Kitchens that have the flavor. This one's vanilla, and there's a chocolate as well. When they're on sale, you're saving almost $10, and I use these on our low carb days. To sweeten things up a little bit. Has a teeny bit of fat in it as well, and 10 grams of protein per scoop. That is what is in my latte right now. but those aren't on sale this week. The Primal Kitchen, nothing Primal Kitchens that I saw was on sale at Whole Foods this week. If you become a Primal Kitchen fan, I am. I love following Bobby on Flav City on YouTube and on Instagram. He's a chef and he has the most darling little daughter. And he's pretty keto. He's pretty low carb all the time, but he's super knowledgeable about food and the food industry and food production. And he loves Primal Kitchen. And I learned a lot about Primal Kitchen and how clean they are from him. So if you're into Primal Kitchen, their dressings, marinades, sauces, they have a sugar-free ketchup. Go to Whole Foods because they've got all the Primal Kitchen stuff throughout the store. The only one I've tried that I did not like was their barbecue sauce. They have a no sugar added barbecue sauce and it was horrendous. Do not buy it. Barbecue sauce just needs a little sugar. Let's be honest. All right, the last thing's here. And then we're gonna go put this away. Carrots. I eat a carrot a day. I wash it, I keep the skin on because there's so much good stuff for your hormones, no matter your age, in the skin of carrots. They're magical. So I wash these guys, I put them in a little glass dish in the fridge, and this is my carrot a day to help my excess estrogens get out of my body. So I'm always making sure my carrots are on hand for me, and then I adore green onions on everything. Like this will go on my salad, my burger, my Big Mac in a bowl tonight, barbecue chicken, yes. Turkey casserole, yes. Will I put some on the maple chicken thigh sheet pan? No. Spicy fish taco bowl? Yes. So I buy these organic green onions every week. Wash them, chop them, and put them on all my food. And you know what is really nice about those? I don't usually cook this into a recipe. I usually just use that as a topping. Or if I do cook it into a recipe, I also use the green part as the topping. And when you use uncooked onions like these, you're getting some prebiotics, which that's a good thing. So just saying. I know they're at every grocery, but I appreciate that Whole Foods consistently has them organic, and they're always going to be in my grocery bags. And there was a toothpaste I bought. If this is your thing, you've probably heard this, and you may even have your own whole local health food store. Like I'm so lucky to have right within walking distance of my house, which is where I get a lot of my cleaner beauty products, health and beauty care products. But Whole Foods does have their own health and beauty section. How clean is everything is up for debate. Honestly, I'm in a lot of those Facebook groups for like clean living, and a lot of people are very much like Whole Foods, don't buy stuff there, it's not really clean. So they have tons of sales though. It's something to keep in mind if you're willing to read some labels, if that's just a resource you're looking for. So I got my son this toothpaste today that has no fluoride. It's gluten-free if that's an issue for you. To try it out, it was on sale. Let him see what he thinks because he is out of toothpaste. So keep in mind that health and beauty section at Whole Foods, their gimmick is that it's supposedly cleaner products. You really just have to look at everything though and use your judgment and lean into the resources you have. You can't just trust that it's gonna be clean. It's not. Just because it's at Whole Foods doesn't mean it's clean. Like they have organic pre-popped popcorn, and I read the oils on there. They're all inflammatory oils. I'm like, okay, I just bought some organic popcorn kernels at my local health food store, the only place I've been able to find them, and we put them in a paper bag like this, and we just put that in the microwave and press the popcorn button, and we pop our own popcorn with no oils at all, and then the kids sprinkle a little butter and salt on, and they take that to school. So I'll do a whole nother video about that, but that will be my final caveat about Whole Foods is that if you just, like everywhere else that you shop, keep your macros in the forefront of your mind, your carbs, proteins, and fats. Read the nutrition labels, and then you can't go wrong no matter where you shop, right? So look into using your Amazon Prime membership discount at checkout. If you want to save even more and you're a credit card user, look into the Amazon Prime Rewards credit card. We use that and get 5% cash back on everything we spend at Whole Foods. Watch for the sales. Remember I said today I saved 50%. This went from $44 to like $28. So not quite 50%, but decent savings on this vegan protein powder that I have come to like. And there are protein powder samples from many of the brands, so you can find what, if you like it or not. You don't have to buy a whole thing and then get stuck with it. Consistent source of organic choices for fruits and veggies. Very consistent source of gluten-free choices if that's part of your lifestyle. and huge selection of treats that would fit in a keto lifestyle that are sweetened with stevia or monk fruit. That's another thing Whole Foods can be known for, if that's your thing. More and more is coming back is their pre-chopped, pre-made food. So if you wanted organic pre-chopped onions and sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, mixed veggies, coleslaw, all that was in stock in the produce section today. What else? People did used to love their food bar, their hot and cold food bars. They took a hit for COVID for sure. They are back, but not as strong as ever. And that's another one where I'd say, if you're eating that daily for your lunch, just be thinking about asking some questions about what the food is made with, what macros are in there, what are you really getting? Just because it's at Whole Foods. Oh, there's Connie, hello. Just because it's at Whole Food, and Pat, I got your question in my messages, Pat. I'm gonna message you back. Just because it's at Whole Foods doesn't mean it's a whole food. Just because it's the capital WF and in their store does not mean it's a whole food. You've just got to put your macro mindset on and your nutrition label detective mindset on at any store you go to, right? And then again, you can shop anywhere, even the gas station, and find some real treasures. So if you have any questions about the meals I said that this food was going into, if you're already on my emails, you got this meal plan already emailed to you last Friday, and I will resend it today in case you haven't opened it. I resend usually on Tuesdays, so you can check out those recipes. Burger night, crock-pot barbecue chicken, there's some really good ones on here. That Brussels sprouts, green apple, honey mustard sheet pan with the chicken thighs is amazingly good. Dates are very healthy. Pat, yes, girl. Unsweetened dates, and I would say, I'm glad you brought that up. I love to buy my unsweetened dried fruit at Costco. Hands down, best prices and best quality on organic. Whole Foods consistently has an entire area of nuts and seeds and dried fruits, a few with no sugars added, but they are extraordinarily expensive, even on sale. But they are there. Dates are phenomenal for you. They are a carb blast. So again, read the nutrition label. See how many carbs are in there. See what they say is a serving of dates. Weigh it on your scale. See what you're getting. But dates are phenomenal for you. So good. Oh, people call you Trish? Okay. I have an Aunt Patricia who just wants to be Patricia. My brother is Patrick, so we call him Pat. I have lots of wonderful Pats in my life, so we'll call you Trish. But yeah, dates, yes. Faster way ladies be like, yes. We like to chop the date in half, put a little teaspoon of nut butter in there, like sunflower seed butter, cashew butter, almond butter, peanut butter, whatever you like, and a little sprinkle of salt on top, and it is so dang good. It's one of my favorite treats if I get to the end of the day and I'm like, I have not had enough carbs or fats, or I just want a dessert. Dates stuffed with some nut butter. Fast, easy, magically delicious. And yeah, you could get those at Whole Foods and be getting your organic dates, but Costco's a far better deal. And the beauty of buying the dried unsugared fruits at Costco's, they last forever. They're very, very shelf stable. Okay, let me wrap this up because I'm going to head to be live watching the Biceps After Babies day 2 of the 5-day challenge, and keep working on my mindset there. I had some amazing aha moments yesterday. Whew, I'm gonna go have to share mine in the Well Women's community. I put up a post like, what was your aha last night? And mine was, it was really powerful. It's okay. They're not organic dates, Trish. It's okay. Eat them up, and then maybe think about, do you want to switch to organic, right? Like no big deal at all. So let me go get this food put away before it spoils. Finish the rest of my breakfast meal. Wish you a fantastic day. If you're in the Biceps After Babies 5 days challenge with me, I'm going to be watching live at 12:30 in the Facebook group that's just for the challenge, and working on, let me grab the sheet. Oh no, where did I put it? It's over by my computer. I won't walk away from you. But today we're working on something she calls the miracle scale, and it's so good. It's such a cool way to think of anything in your life that you're dreaming about or that you want to happen. Any goal you have, it's really good. I am not a goal-loving person. To me, that shuts me down because I'm so much of a perfectionist, and I'm working on it, like progress over perfection, right? But setting goals kind of really just shuts me down most of the time because I feel like, well, what if I fail? Why would I want to do that? But Amber lays out this great scale of what you want to happen that definitely opens up your mind. So Let me go do that. Trish said these aren't organic dates. I can't. All right. Yeah, it may be hard to find organic dates, but it's worth a look at Costco for sure. They're usually in multiple places at Costco and Whole Foods. I've not seen organic dates at my Kroger, and those are my shopping places. We have a Trader Joe's here I don't get to, so someone else maybe can weigh in on that. And nuts are phenomenal for you, but nuts are like dates. A little bit goes a very long way. They're tiny for a reason. Like nature made those tiny for a reason. You don't need many. They are mostly healthy fats and lots of other great things for you. But the serving amount of nuts that you need is probably a little bit less than you would think. So almonds weigh about a gram each. So if you count out about 30 almonds, that's about 30 grams. That's about 15 grams of fat, which is almost 200 calories, which is almost as much fat as I have in an entire meal. Okay, so nuts are packed with healthy fats and a little bit goes a long way. Same with pistachios, great for you, but same thing. Brazil nuts are crazy high. You can eat 2 Brazil nuts a day would be like a ton of fat. Brazil nuts, pistachios, almonds, walnuts, all the nuts and seeds are so good. Super high in fat. So just look at the nutrition label and think about, how many do I think I'm eating? What is the serving I'm probably getting? And you can't have almonds because of kidney stones. Oh man, I would be in trouble. I love some almonds. All right, let me go get this. I'll get it uploaded. I'm gonna share this to our Well Women's community. I just wanted to post it here on my personal Facebook because then more people can see it. If I go live in our Well Women's community, I cannot easily share that outside of the Well Women's community. So that's why people should be in there with us, right? I know a lot of you are in that community, but I will save this and put it in our Well Women's community. It'll be under the guide that has the meal plan saved in it. So you can come back and look at this if it's of interest to you, share it with a friend if they're in the group, and see what maybe Whole Foods could do to support you in your macro-based shopping. All right, have a fantastic day, everybody. Oh, and Pat, one last question said, is canned salmon okay? Yes. Just like canned tuna, I use it in moderation. I would say salmon is even better than canned tuna for sure. I just shared a post on Instagram from Dr. Mark Hyman, who is super smart and has written lots of best-selling books about food that keeps you well. And he's a big fan of canned salmon lately. He was saying he puts it over some arugula for a really fast dinner. And I was just helping someone with a little meal planning the other day. And I said, if you're willing to use canned salmon, you've got a phenomenal protein and fat source instantly ready to go that you don't have to cook. You don't even have to heat it up, right? So yes, to the canned salmon, and every once in a while, it's always at Whole Foods, every once in a while it's at Costco in bulk. There is a pretty clean brand. I don't have any up here, let me see. I don't have it up here, but I can Facebook message you a picture of the can, Trish, it's gonna be hard for me to change from Pat. Trish, about the canned salmon, because there are some brands that are a little bit more sustainably fished and they check their fish for mercury levels and all those good kinds of things. Every once in a while those are at Costco and I stock up, and almost always on the shelf at Whole Foods as well. Yeah, with mixed greens and some onions, I think that would be really good. I used to do salmon with some scrambled eggs and inside of an avocado, like to get in lots of fat and protein. Haven't had that in a while. Maybe put it over some of the mixed greens. It'd be really good. Yeah, canned salmon could be a real phenomenal protein to keep in the pantry so you aren't being shy on your protein goals, right? So, all right, you ladies have a fantastic time. Wave hi to me if you come to the Biceps After Babies Challenge at 12:30 over in that group. And we'll have a great day. All right, happy shopping. It was nice to talk with y'all.